Letter to Terry Carter from Robert Shrewsbury. Is it possible to do treasure hunting and prospecting? I have been in the field of treasure hunting, prospecting, archaeology, metallurgy/precious metal refining, exploration and deep research/discovery for most of my life now. It started in Kanab, Utah in the 1950s, because it was a common practice in that area, at the time, to search for possible ancient treasures or things such as arrowheads. The locals seemed to be doing this for recreation and with the hope of finding something valuable. Freddie Crystal came to Kanab well before I was born, and he had a map that showed the alleged location of the Montezuma or Aztec treasure. He got the Canabites all excited and stirred up and started the tradition of searching for treasures all around the Kanab, Utah area. A lot of other things were discovered during those years, but not Montezuma's treasure, that supposedly brought northward for protection in a time of disruption. As a young boy, this was when I saw for myself the first skeletons of true giants, and it really stuck with me. It influenced my life towards understanding and knowing the truth, regardless of all of the lack of data and later on, governmental and political cover-ups of the truth. Truth is never for the curious, but for the thirsty, and I was thirsty. Since then, I have spent a lot of time reading old accounts of history and with explorers, prospectors and treasure hunters from Canada to Central and South America. Unusual things are not confined to the Americas, and so I have even been consulted on topics in other countries across the ocean in detection work for treasures, water, oil and minerals. One time in the United States, I even detected and found a missing dead son for the father. The son was apparently involved in selling drugs and was finally located in a series of mass burials way out in a privately owned empty country. The father could neither resolve the murder or have his son back alive. No, I do not usually track people. There are often dangerous reasons they are not wanted to be found. The most difficult part in the following clues and locations of things with treasures, is dealing with legal and lawful issues, that do not favor the treasure finder. We have lost a huge amount of real data of prior civilizations and conditions as a result. It has been my experience, educated understanding and summation of statistical reality, that approximately 90% of all found treasures find their way to the black market worldwide. This is mostly because of governmental and political legalities, legal maneuvers, theft and greed. So pinching the pennies does more to harm economies, than the actual value there, so to speak. Think of all the taxes that are not paid, because there are no records of under-the-table sales to private collectors. As I understand it, England does a lot better to protect their antiquities, because their laws are civilized. A treasure finder gets half of the values. This means treasures from prior civilizations and such are safeguarded from the black markets, and are often put in museums. Even a treasure on private property, that belongs to someone else, is divided with half belonging to the finder and half to the property owner. Costa Rica, Central America has similar good laws and takes care of the treasure finder. However, Costa Rica reserves the right for the first chance to purchase your share if they think it should stay in their country. Some countries around the world steal finds from finders, even to the point of letting them do all the research, cost and hard work, then stealing from them. Antiquity laws are like, analogously speaking, iatrogenic diseases, doctor-caused problems, induced in a patient by the treatment or comments made by a physician. One of the basic principles in treatment stated by Hippocrates is, first do no harm. Iatrogenic diseases make up about 25% of illnesses. I believe that the 90% of under-the-table, illegal, sales of antiquities would drop to about 10% or less if it was made lawful and fair. I know treasure finders that have found treasures in India and Colombia, South America, as well as other countries that were cheated by those in those governments. Here is another case of greed. What were the results? The thieves were greedy and earned a bad reputation and blocked their own future reception of any further business deals with good, competent treasure finders. Once again, the proverbially pennies are pinched to death and their future viability lost. Treasures can also be things such as retrieving rich ores in various forms. They too are becoming almost completely blocked from working for the common person. From the reputable treasure hunters/finder scuttlebutt, I know of a couple of treasure finders in a South American country that were stopped by the cartel/mafia type in that area. They were then told that they could only hunt with the cartel's permission and that they would give permission, if they would agree to give them 40% of the values found. In addition, protection of their operation would be given. They struck an agreement and within a year they found a valuable treasure. They took it to the cartel and divided it up as agreed upon. Next, they kept on looking for more treasure and found another one, however they were robbed by someone else. They reported this to the cartel they were working with and within 3 days, the robbers were found by the cartel and killed. The cartel took their 40% of the product and gave the remaining 60% back to the treasure finders. I never ever thought or imagined that there would be more fairness and justice with a cartel than with a government. This reminds me of what Simon Bolivar once said, when tyranny becomes law, rebellion is right. It is my recommendation that we all send our prayers up to him up above and further act upon this and send letters, in abundance, to our state senators and our congressmen and get these unworkable laws changed for the better. This is a good and lawful rebellion. Cordially, Robert.